this presentation titled Getting Your Patients to a Healthy BMI. And, this is such an important topic because as most people know, and, the many people that RSVP'd for this program, they, you likely are a clinician or you are treating people and you're interested in helping people lose weight. So I'm going to bring a very important topic to today, and let's go ahead and get started on the main objectives. So today I'm going to talk about the top 5 reasons why you should add weight loss services to your practice. You're going to learn about our weight loss training program in more detail. We're going to discuss 3 different strategic weight loss programs, and you're going to learn why our programs are different. And more importantly, you're going to learn how to automate and scale your practice. So if you are someone, again, the audience, there could be a variety of people, maybe you are just a provider or practitioner that works in some type of hospital system, or you own a practice, but this is really going to help you understand how you can effectively add weight loss to really any type of environment. So the number one reason is that it's to expand your market, expand your patient list. Most people understand that 80% of the population is obese or overweight. Millions of people are looking for solutions. 90% of the people have tried fat diets and they have failed. And the reason for that is because current solutions simply don't work. We're told the wrong information. The opportunity in this market is truly endless. And when you forecast and you look at how things are trending, the opportunity is even more vast. Oops, sorry about that. Let me go back here. Okay, increased revenue potential per patient. So a new service brings added revenue. The US weight loss market reached $78 billion in 2019. So if you are in practice, you have the ability to market to your existing patients and attract new ones. It is very important to understand that weight management is a lifelong commitment. This is not something that you do for 2 to 3 weeks and then it's over and you expect the changes to last. It's just like a gym membership. We use that analogy with our patients all the time. This is something that you work at all the time. So in our experience and the practice that I run, each patient does an average of 3 programs per year. Number 3, weight loss increases patient satisfaction. So as you can imagine, whatever your business is and the treatment modalities that you're using or services, if you're treating a patient and they're still overweight and still dealing with those chronic conditions, they will never get to optimal wellness. So adding weight loss really to any type of program is just going to benefit not only you but also the patient. Strategic weight loss is the future. You must reset and rebalance the body for optimal weight loss. We're going to talk more about this, and sorry, I'm just going to add somebody here. We're going to talk more about this, but this is really the key to optimal weight loss. Again, weight loss can be combined with other treatments or services for improved outcomes. The 4th reason is save time and money with our turnkey solutions. We can't be experts in everything. We wish we could. I can't tell you how many times we want to add different services, but in order for us to really focus and be good at what we do, we can't rely on, just hiring someone in. So that's what we're providing for you. Our protocol-driven, quick weight loss programs are simple, effective, and healing to the body. They also are going to allow you to save time and money on employee training, researching different programs, because that is truly a monster in itself, creating handouts and patient forms, and not only, finding the right program, but executing the program. So I'm going to help you understand how we have done all of this work for you and for your patients. And number 5 is monetize and scale. So you can automate and maintain successful outcomes, because we have created platforms where you can utilize for your weight loss patients. So essentially what this means is building your practice without adding more time, space, employees, resources, and stress. Because at the end of the day, most people that are interested in this presentation are in the business to help people. And that's what we're passionate about. But we have to make money, we have to pay the bills. And that's really what drove me to kind of create this platform that would not only lead to really successful outcomes, but obviously would be profitable to the business. So I thought it would be very important for you to kind of see some of our success stories. I mean, there are so many more that we wanted to add, but these are some of our successes recently. Hopefully you can hear the music, probably not, but you'll get the gist of the results. So we at WayLessMD, we see patients of all ages. So this particular patient did a 12-week HCG program. This patient did a 4-week HCA lean program. And I'm going to talk more about our 3 different programs, but you can see that they're all very, very effective. HCA. And at our practice, we look at all the different components of weight loss. So we know how much fat they're losing, we know how much muscle they're losing, and total weight. And that's obviously a very important piece to total weight loss. And I'll again talk a little bit more about that. And you can see Bill in 10 weeks lost 26.2 pounds. We also have longer term programs. This was a 6-month program that this patient did with his wife. And again, just affecting the whole family. And that's ultimately, what we want, the chain reaction to help everyone involved. And this is Pete, who lost 90 pounds in his first year, and he's going on his 3rd year and has still maintained his weight loss. And this is our record-breaking testimonial, which is almost unheard of, but in 12 months, this particular patient lost 197 pounds. He started at over 400 pounds and exercising and doing well. So that just gives you a glimpse of what our programs can do for patients. So just to help you better understand a little bit about WayLessMD and WayLessMD Pro. So WayLessMD, so I opened up WayLessMD in 2014, and the focus was weight loss. But I understood as a business owner, and I'll talk a little bit more about my background, but I understood that in order to help people with weight loss long-term, I could not just put people on meal plans. I couldn't just tell people, to eat less and exercise more. So we really looked at different components for weight loss. We conducted several studies of our own. And after a couple years, I started to identify a need for better training and automations. And most people who are, managing or owning a business know that, turnover can be a real challenge, and getting people on the same page and getting them up to speed is a real challenge. So we started to develop our own training protocols for not only practitioners, but for patients. And in 2019 is when we launched Weighless MD Pro. So once we created our protocols, that's when we really decided to start to offer this to other practices. So why did we ultimately create this program for other businesses or practitioners? Because honestly, there was nothing that existed. When I started my business 7 years ago, I searched everywhere for protocols. How can I jumpstart my business and get patients to lose weight quick? Because at the end of the day, you have to drive results. And so since that time, and since there was nothing else available to me, we started to create our own platform. And since then, we've honestly been on a mission. So our mission is really to improve efficiencies in the clinic, to improve training for practitioners. So not only current practitioners, but your future hires, to provide a breakdown of each visit and outline what each employee is expected to do. So you will better understand what our protocols are. But, in a clinic setting, you have different practitioners, and some might have a medical assistant, RN, NP, MD, whatever it is. We broke down exactly what that provider does at every visit for patients. And protocols also ensure consistency of messaging and the education that is provided to the patient. So as you can imagine, when you're really implementing and executing these programs, you have to make sure that what you're saying, that your providers are saying the same thing to your patients, because I can't tell you the number of times we have heard from our patients that, I wasn't told that at the last visit, or she said this because it was a new employee. So this is where this becomes very important to really drive that consistency and that execution. And at the end of the day, we want results. I want results as a business person and a clinician. So really keeping that in mind, because that's what's going to really drive the success of your business. So just a little bit about me. I received a Bachelor of Science degree from the UW-Madison and played soccer there. I put a couple pictures of myself there. I went on to Mount Mary University for master's degree. I have a board certification in integrative health and functional nutrition. I am a certified LEAP therapist, which really stands for lifestyle, eating, and performance, which is, I also have a expertise in food sensitivities. And my life before all of this was soccer. I was an All-American soccer player and member of the U.S. national team. So I have learned a whole lot just in that part of my life that really has really allowed me to kind of take a step back and learn how I can create a successful business. And why I'm here today is I truly was born with this intrinsic interest in health and the human body from a young child. And I have been through many journeys. We all are put on this planet, and we all go through challenges in our life, and we all have our own journey. But I truly believe that my journey aligned with my passion for this profession. So, my health journey, ultimately transformed the way that I think and the way that I practice. And so that's why I decided to open up Weighless MD, because I really wanted to be part of this, very needed change in the healthcare system. I worked for big companies, I worked for big healthcare systems, and I didn't feel that I was truly helping the way that I really felt I could help. So my inspiration is really treating the foundation for optimal wellness and weight loss. And that's how we approach all of our programs, and that's how I approach my business. If you don't treat the foundation, it is going to be very difficult to have long-term weight loss and long-term health. So we have developed a unique weight loss training program that includes weight loss protocols. So these are step-by-step protocols for practitioners and resources for patients. There is a very comprehensive virtual training platform for providers. So again, this includes all current employees and future employees. And then I'm going to talk about our ongoing scalability and support. And this is really what sets us apart, because most people don't think about really scaling weight loss patients. But in this day and age, with virtual everything, who knows what's going to happen with COVID? We have to be able to maintain and sustain a business, help patients, and pay the bills, make money. So that's what I will talk about in more detail. So in our training program, we basically educate you on 3 different programs that we have developed. And the 3 different programs, one is called HCA Lean, one is called HCG, and the other is called HC2. Most people are familiar with HCG. So the other 2 programs include supplements along with a very structured meal plan. So you can see some of the benefits for each of the programs. So HCA Lean, again, has supplements. All of our programs are 30 days. This particular program is going to reset hunger. It's going to focus on exercise. So some patients definitely want to continue an exercise regimen while they're trying to lose weight. But the main key here is releasing and targeting abnormal fat stores. And you'll see, I'm going to talk more about that. HCG, if you're familiar with it, these are injections. It's human chorionic gonadotropin. Lots of different things it does to the body in a calorie deprived state. So it's going to reset the hypothalamus so the body starts to burn the correct fat. It's going to help balance other hormones in the body. And again, really helping to release that abnormal, difficult fat. HC2 is also a program that includes 3 different supplements that you can see here. The focus for this particular program, again, we're rebalancing and resetting. So it's going to reset hunger cues. This particular program has a detoxification focus, and that is crucial, which I'll talk a little bit more about, and again, targeting the abnormal fat stores. So should you decide to partner with us, you are obviously going to learn a lot more about these particular programs and the differences between all of them. So the main reasons of why our programs are different. We tend to think that by lowering calories, we think that that's going to solve everything. And until you understand how the body works, and until you understand how to become strategic, that's when really you can get a lot further in maintenance. So we target abnormal fat stores, and we have 3 different type of fat stores in our body. One is called brown fat, one is beige, and one is white. So until you become, strategic in actually accessing the white fat, which is the inflammatory, healthy fat, it will become difficult to maintain. So this is that cycle. People lose 20, they go back to normal eating, they gain 30. So we essentially stop that cycle. You also have to understand how to spare muscle mass. What good is weight loss if you lose 20 pounds and 7 pounds or 8 pounds of it is muscle? that actually puts you in a worse metabolic state than prior to starting. So all of our programs, they are quick weight loss. And people will ask us, oh, am I going to lose muscle? No, you're not going to lose muscle because we're strategic. We know how to target the right fat stores and we measure it. So we do know how much people are losing. So essentially, it's really about accessing stored calories, because that's all fat stores are, but it's accessing, the right stores and obviously maintaining, so muscle doesn't become a calorie source. And then the other piece is detoxification. This is so huge. And I think more people are starting to talk about it a little bit more. Unfortunately, we live in a toxic world. We are exposed and inundated to toxins every single day. We eat toxins, we breathe toxins. And when you have excess fat, you store toxins. So oftentimes it becomes very difficult to lose weight because your body, your body's smart. It doesn't want to release all these toxins into circulation because then it has free will to all the other systems of the body. So you have to make sure that when you are releasing or mobilizing fat stores, you are also supporting the detox pathways. Because if you don't support the liver and the kidneys and the gallbladder and other systems, all of that is just going to be recirculated. So detox, and I think a lot of people are familiar with like the keto flu, because that seems to be kind of like what people understand, but they just think, oh, that just happens. But that's fat stores being mobilized and released into circulation. That's why people feel so sick. So for those people, if they're not doing the right things, those toxins are going back into circulation. So again, just to reiterate, all fat is not the same. There are different fat stores in the body, and some are very, very difficult to access. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the 3 different fat stores. So we have what's considered brown fat cells, brown adipocyte, white, and beige. So the main difference between these is that the brown is actually beneficial. You can see that it has, if you are a clinician, you understand what the mitochondria is. The brown fat cells have a ton of mitochondria. So these are going to play a role in thermogenesis. So even though you have these fat stores, you are still really obtaining fat oxidation. Now, if you have a lot of white fat cells, as you can see here, there's very little mitochondria. And this particular fat cell is for energy storage. So these particular people are going to be overweight and they're going to gain in those areas that are very difficult to lose. And then you have what's called the bright or the beige fat cell. And these are kind of a combination of the 2, brown and white. So they do have a thermogenic effect, but they also can store calories. So at the end of the day, I think most people understand that obesity is a chronic disease state. It basically sets the stage for chronic inflammation in the body. And from there, things start to really accelerate. So when you think about white cell, which is this abnormal inflammatory fat, these are things that obviously are tied to that: heart disease, stroke, really everything, but coronary artery disease, pregnancy complications like PCOS, type 2 diabetes, hormone imbalances galore, and there are many, many cancers that are tied to obesity as well. So the bottom line, and what I really want people to understand, is that when you're trying to get people to lose weight, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be strategic. You must target this abnormal fat, and you must get the body in a balanced, you must reset and rebalance the body. So this is just a quick look at what our training platform looks like for practitioners. . So you're essentially going to learn about all the different programs and how it would fit into your practice. Okay, so hopefully that highlighted some of the benefits of our virtual online training for practitioners. Oops. And again, just to reiterate, when you go into our platform, you're going to be taken through all the different programs. You can see here our HCG, then you have our HCA and our HC2. There's going to be our protocols for all of the visit details, increasing patient success. So there are going to be patients that struggle. And we have all the resources there and all the training for troubleshooting that. And the most important piece for time saving is really all of the nutrition. We have a nutrition packet for every program, and that's in video form. So you don't have to sit in front of the patient every single time they start a program and explain that to them. We did that. And we quickly, actually, my partner in crime was like, we need to create a video. So since that day, we've been, obsessed with just creating, a video platform. So again, just a quick look at the provider training. We do provide a certification as either whether it's you or your staff, you go through this platform, there will be a certification, there will be certain assignments and tasks that you're expected to do, obviously, just so we can ensure that you really understand each of the programs because they're super effective. We just want to make sure that it's, executed appropriately. So what is all included in our training program for practitioners? So essentially, if you were to sign up, you're going to get 12 hours of provider training, and you're also going to get our weight loss protocols for each of the 3 programs, essentially, detailing out every visit. You're going to get patient videos, handouts, assessment forms for all the programs. And again, just to highlight that we are offering and providing to every practice 3 different 30-day weight loss program options. And the reason why we did this, obviously, is because not all patients are a good fit for one program. So we took our experience and we're like, okay, what are the contraindications for one? How can we create one that would be best for this particular person? So really, there are the 3 programs is going to accommodate almost every single patient. So we are gonna talk a little bit more about the automation, but the automation is such an important piece. And so to help you understand, it's, once you see a patient and they just decide to do numerous programs throughout the year, you have the ability to set them up on the virtual program, which we have spent years developing. And, that takes all the work off of your hands. So you're going to set them up. They're going to get daily emails, educational videos, handouts, the nutrition booklet, recipes, meal plans, you name it. It's going to take them through the entire program. And you also have the option as a business, to utilize our virtual dietitians. And so I have a number of dietitians, but I understand that the majority of businesses that we work with do not, and you don't need to, because we've created the actual protocols that you don't need to be a dietitian. But if you wanted more of that support after the program, so people had a better idea for the maintenance part, you can definitely use our virtual support program. Okay, so what is next? We have 3 different options, 3 different ways that we can work with businesses or providers, practitioners. So the first one is that option 1 is that you are involved pretty closely. So you would sign up for the program. We would immediately get you set up for 4 onboarding meetings. Your staff would go through the virtual training program. The patients, so once you are all trained and your staff is all trained, then your first patients are actually going to go through your practice. So these are 4-week programs. So it's set up so that they would see you on a weekly basis. You're trained, you know how to troubleshoot, you know how to help these patients. And after they finish that first program, then they have the option to go into our automated or our online program. So they already know the program. You've already supported them in 4 weeks, and now you can kind of set them up on our automated program, which I'll talk a little bit more about. So all of that, basically the program is $1,900. But again, we'll talk about profitability because there's such opportunity for high revenue return. Option 2, and I know I'm going to get questions about this in the end, and I see that there is a question coming through, but I'm going to address those in the end. Option 2 is that you sign up for the program, you schedule your 4 onboarding meetings, because we're taking you through and we're getting you ready to offer our 3 weight loss programs. The staff will go through the virtual training, but instead of having the patients go through you at your clinic for the first program, you offer the program, but you immediately set them up on the online portion. So this is more for people that really, they don't have the capacity to see patients on a weekly basis, but they really know that they want to help their patients with weight loss. So again, it's really just setting them up on our online automated program. Option 3 is simply referring. You can simply refer to us. We service patients everywhere. There are some limitations with some of the programs. So the HCG, just because that's a prescription. And actually I noted that here. So you would refer to us. We basically take care and do everything just so we can get your patients to a healthier state. And you are entitled to a referral incentive from that. And I will say, it's very important to where this really comes into play is, say, like a Medi-Spa, where there are certain modalities and certain treatments that require a specific BMI. And certain clinics don't have the capacity to help their patients get the weight off, so they send them out. And sometimes they get them back and sometimes they don't. So you refer to us, we can get your patient's weight off and come back to you and continue, obviously, the service with you. So again, the patient timeline, this is our ideal way of doing things. But again, this is customizable to the practice. So the practice signs up and the patient completes the 4-week program with your practice. And then after that, they go to the automated program. So returning weight loss patients, they sign up, they come in, they pick up the products, because all of our programs come with, like a kit type of thing. So they pick up the supplements and then they pick it up from you. You set them up on our automated program. And this really, truly creates that hands-off, scalable weight loss business for you with a lot of success. And I'm going to break it down a little bit so you can you can conceptualize a little bit of what it means for a business. If those of you who are listening care about that, sometimes people just want to help patients lose weight. And again, because at the end of the day, you get patients come back when they're successful. So if you are interested in the business side of things or profitability, you can see here that, oops. So our 30-day programs for a new patient, the clinic program charge varies from $500 to $600. It really depends on where you are and what your market demand is. We charge between $500 to $600. It's kind of seasonal. So our estimated cost of supplies and staff is approximately $100. So your profit is going to be $400 to $500 per patient. So once that patient completes that first program, let's say they want to do additional programs, because as you know, weight loss is ongoing. This is not something people do one time. They are going to come back over and over, especially if they have success. So our online virtual programs, we usually recommend that people charge a little bit less. So say you charge $400, the product supplies are $100 at most. And then for the automation platform, you would just pay $49 for that patient to utilize that online platform. So your profit would be $250 for literally, handing the patient the product, and then they would get set up on the platform. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, average patient does 3 to 5 programs per year. So to extrapolate that a little bit, you can see, so one patient, let's say you get one new patient, they come to the clinic, you see them weekly, you make $500, but then they decide to do 2 additional programs throughout the year. So your profit is approximately $250 to $300. And so your profit for one patient is approximately $1,100. So as you can see, the more patients you have, it really scales quickly with really you not having to expand your business, put more money into it, etc. So this is just a quick look of what our online virtual program looks like for your patients. And this is through our app, which we develop independent programs for each practice. And you have the ability to also private label this, but essentially depending on the program that they sign up for each day, they're going to be sent an email and it takes them through the entire program. And not only that, all the videos are very strategic. So here's the nutrition, video, plateau, but they will always have access to all of the resources right there, easy to access. So they'll get a daily meal plan with recipes for each of our programs. Again, this is just looking at all the different resources that they have access to. And then another really cool thing, if you decide to do this, you do not have to, but your patients can actually purchase a body composition scale, and it is integrated into the system, integrated into the app. So you can actually see and view everything that your patient does from logging once they step on their scale. So it really helps with that accountability piece when it is a virtual program. Logging food, we'll talk about this more if we have further conversations, but we drive home this significantly. And then I mentioned the virtual dietitian. This is optional. This is not something that you have to do, but this would be an option if a patient finishes a program and they say to you, what do I do now? Because that's what the majority of people say, then you have the option to utilize our dietitians that are really going to help with what the plan is long-term. And what we'll do is review results, discuss initial goals and new goals, and really develop a long-term plan. And I did want to mention that, we're not just about eating, we really do assess for other things that may be going on in the patient's life. Not that we're going to address every single one, but I think it's important to understand that there's core areas of wellness. And, if you have fallen off the cliff in one area, those are things that we need to talk about. And I'm just mentioning this. I don't want to get into too much detail and confuse people, but I think it's important to understand that ultimately our goal for you is to get your patients into a membership program. And we have a membership program. We charge $89 to $99 a month. Our patients do 3 programs a year at very set days. They do it all together. And so that's ultimately where we want to see the practices develop, because, this isn't about the one-time program. Patients, it's really quite amazing what it does to their mindset, knowing that they have a program coming up in a month or in 2 months. So, like I said, there's monthly membership. The really nice thing is that there are 2 live group sessions. So once you get your patients in this program, we're actually providing even more support for them. And again, the key is to really keep them supported and focused all year round. So just to summarize the training and resources, the option 1, this is normal pricing. So we are running a deal, obviously, because it's the holidays, and the promotional price is $1,900 until December 31st. So you would save $1,000. And the way things are going, we probably will be increasing it even more, but we wanted to throw that promo out there for this webinar. And the option 3 is nothing, because that would be literally referring to us, and we're going to help your patients get them to their weight loss goals. And I did just want to mention one quick thing is you saw that we have supplements that are provided in each of our programs. You have the option to private label all of those supplements, which is really cool. And so that would be an option for you as well. So that is it. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into any questions if you guys want to